Democratic Party, you've been in denial for too long. Palestinians ought to be free.
I stand for human rights of the Palestinians. There is nothing democratic about these human rights violations.
This is a moral issue. It's an issue of our time. It has spiritual and moral implications, not just about politics, not just about the next election. And for the younger generation, it's more and more becoming what Vietnam was for the 60s or what South Africa was for the 80s. But our challenge will be, we must never tolerate one iota of anti-Jewish hatred or sensibility, or one iota of anti-Palestinian, anti-Arab, or anti-Muslim sensibility. Can we walk that line? That's what this is about.
This is not a controversial addition. It is a statement of fact acknowledged by people, including Israelis, who themselves acknowledge there is an occupation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's Nancy Soderberg again with the Hillary campaign from Florida. This amendment would undermine the ability of the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton, to lead the effort to negotiate an end to this conflict and an independent state for both. So I ask my colleagues to vote no. Thank you.
Additional speakers?
To encourage peace, to realize peace, to support a fair two-state solution, we must defeat this amendment and support the base text of the platform.
We call on the international effort to rebuild Gaza, which the United Nations warns could be uninhabitable by 2020. This is a humanitarian plea to do the right thing. It merely suggests that we have a heart and a compassion, and we're capable of applying it to both Palestinians and Israelis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mark Stanley from Dallas, Texas. I'm a Hillary Clinton delegate. If you open up Gaza, for instance, and talk about people suffering, you're not talking about the other side about it. You're not talking about missiles that are leaving Gaza and hitting Israel. You're not talking about tunnels that are going into Israel where people are trying to kill Israelis. You're not talking about Gazans who are trying to take out the water utilities and the electrical utilities that feed the Gaza citizens. Why are we going to relitigate this now? It's been done. Please vote against this amendment.
Anyone else wishing to be heard against the amendment? You've already been heard.
And when you're talking about Gaza, you're talking about a level of such incredible misery and unbelievable suffering. And during the attacks just a few years ago, over 2,000 were killed, over 500 babies were killed, and not a mumbling word from any of our political elites. What is going on in this country? What's going on among our elites? Are we so paralyzed? Are we so debilitated by either money flowing or indifference in our hearts? I would hope not. That's what the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and Dorothy Day and so many others are all about. And if this party is going to pose and possibly got an even hand orientation, we will always say, no, you don't. You have to be equally concerned about our precious Jewish brothers and sisters who have to deal with the crimes coming out of Hamas. Yes, Hamas has to take responsibility for killing innocent people, and that's a crime against humanity, but so does the IDF, so does the Israeli Defense Forces when they kill innocent folk on the other side. If we are not able to deal with that, then we're in the same condition that this party was in 80 years ago when it didn't want to deal with Jim Crow, didn't want to deal with lynching, locked in a state of denial and saying somehow these Negroes are going to make it through with this misery. I refuse to reach that conclusion.
Thank you, Dr.
That's
West.
why we ought to be concerned about Gaza.
Thank you, Dr. West. We have one and a half minutes remaining in the debate. 1.5 minutes.